Dead City. It was a city full of the dead, yet in terms of deaths, it didn't give us many. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to rank all the deaths for The Walking Dead Dead City Season 1. A little bit underwhelming when you look back here at all the deaths that we got. We really didn't get much. When you look at the characters, we really didn't get much. When you look at the show and the season overall, and the entire Walking Dead universe for like the last 10 years, they haven't given us much.
They haven't given us much, guys, but you said dead an awful lot there. I want to talk about the dead. I love the dead. In Manhattan.
In Manhattan, that is where we're going.
The Big Apple. Take a chunk at the fucking apple. I want to go.
Yeah, enough of taking chunks out of apples. Who got chunks taken out of them by walkers? That's what we're going to focus on right here. You don't have to die by walker. The only way you're on this list, though, is if you are living and then you're not living. So, yeah, it doesn't matter how you die. As long as you die, you can be ranked by us. With that said, we've got 11 people. Let's get into it, let's do it, and let's determine who is coming where. In 11th place, coming up last with the worst death of the season, we've got Grits. Grits, of course, was the lieutenant for Pearlie, and his death, in my opinion, absolutely sucked. This is a guy that had a lot of experience. This is a guy that survived this apocalypse. Keep in mind, guys, we're over 20 years in now. At least 20 years, because Maggie said this show is happening 6 years after the events of the final season of The Walking Dead. So there was more than 14 years between season 1 and season 11. Add the 6 years between season 11 and this. That's over 20 years. These people have been surviving 20 years, yet Grits, somehow, when they got inside the laundrette, the big laundrette, he is standing with his back to the glass doors, and sooner or later, the walkers get in and devour him. It's a fucking rookie mistake. I mean, you can almost accept this happening in like season 1 of the original Walking Dead when the show's just beginning, but no, 20 years into the apocalypse and this guy is standing with his back to the glass doors just so they can break through and eat him. I can't forgive that. Terrible fucking death.
Yeah, you know, he stands with his back and it's not even like he reacts, he literally just gets grabbed. It would be bad enough to stand like that, but to actually get killed like that is unforgivable.
Yeah, so for me, terrible death coming in at number 11. Coming in at number 10, we have Isfar. Isfar. I don't care what you call her. Her death wasn't good. She got stabbed by one of the Buras members, and that was pretty much it. I mean, she died while the rest of her crew looked on. Negan ended up getting revenge for her, but the death wasn't great.
No, it wasn't, and they kind of hyped her up. Oh, it's the Pigeon Bone Lady.
Yeah, we thought she was going to play a big role, but in the end, she'd died within about 15 minutes of getting introduced to her, so...
Yeah, it was just like a simple stab wound. There was nothing special about it.
No, she did help Negan and Maggie, survive and escape one tower using the zip lines, but then she just dies 15 minutes later, and you're thinking... What a waste of time that was. Coming in at number 9, we have a Buras member, yes, and we don't know this guy's name. So we're just going to call him Buras member Rotten Food. And that's how you know you're desperate, guys, for people to put on this list, that we're having to include characters that didn't even have fucking names. This guy didn't have a name, but what he did do is he did serve the Croat some rotten food. Why he would serve the Croat rotten food, I don't know. I mean, we've clearly seen it was filled with maggots and shit. It just wasn't a good idea, and it gave the Croat a good enough reason to kill this guy. He just smashed his head against a railing, and I guess he hit him so hard that he broke his neck, broke his jaw, killed him.
How stupid's that though? You're right. Why would he serve the Croat as leader this sort of food?
It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Even in the fucking real world, you wouldn't do this.
Later, this guy reanimates, and I believe Pearlie puts him down. Yeah, just a dumb fucking death here. Almost like they threw this in just because they thought, oh, this episode needs a death. Let's do it.
Let's have him kill him for a little bit of food poisoning, damn it.
Up next, we have Jones coming in at number 8. I kind of like Jones. I know we only got to see her in 1 or 2 scenes. But she was trying to protect Negan. She wasn't telling Pearlie where Negan was. Eventually, he found out, basically questioned her, and came to the conclusion that she was lying. And of course, there is punishments for lying. And according to Pearlie, that punishment is getting fed to walkers.
Yep, absolutely killed here. And I think it was a wee bit unjustified. I mean, if you look at everyone else in the bar, they knew. But it's oh, you own the bar, so it's all your fault, Jones. And then ate alive. like that. You survived 20 years just for this guy to show up and kill you in your place of work.
Yeah, no, I mean, after this, I'm doubting whether Pearlie's a good guy or not.
Yeah, and this was like the first time we get to see him.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna say bad guy.
Seemed very uncalled for. Coming at number 7, we have Tommaso. He died in the sewers. He was trying to say something while he was dying, and then he didn't really get to finish it because he just bled out.
It's a meal. That's pretty much what happened.
Tommaso didn't really get his redemption. He lured his crew into the stadium. I guess he was siding with the Croat. The Croat made him a deal that he would allow him and Amiya to escape and go and live a good life off of Manhattan. I mean, he also lied about escaping in the first place, but maybe that wasn't even true. Maybe that was true. Who knows? Who really cares? I wasn't that intrigued. Oh, did Tommaso really escape, or did he? I mean...
like, let's be real. If we care about these characters, the whole reveal that he's betrayed his entire group should mean something, but I just didn't care.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't mean anything. Tommaso coming in at number 7. Why he's so far behind Amiya, I really don't know, but you're going to have to ask somebody else that question.
Yeah, he died mid-sentence.
Mid-sentence, down, out. Anyway, coming in at number 6, we have Risa. Risa was, of course,
killed by a pizza.
Not quite. She was like the black woman that was in the Manhattan Survivor crew, and she was basically scavenging stuff, and she would go out with her little litter picker and pick up things with her backpack. And I mean, I guess she was trying to go for the Michonne gimmick where she blended in and wore this like black kind of bin bag over her head to, like, I don't know, try and not draw attention to herself. Wasn't a great character. She ends up dying in the stadium. She manages to fight her way outside of the UFC pit, but then gets caught by a couple of walkers, and that's the end of Risa.
Can't believe this entire group that lived just to die here.
Yeah, this death wasn't great. Coming in at number 5, we have another Buras member. Again, we don't know his name, so we'll just put him down as Buras member Disemboweled. And that's what happens to this guy. He gets the kill on Ethers, or Ethers, or whatever she was called.
Aye, Ether.
And then Negan makes this guy pay essentially by killing him. He got some,
bro.
Yeah, he got some, like a fish technically. He stabs him and then he squeezes his body against this like railing, and then all the guy's blood and guts come flying out his stomach. Basically, gets disemboweled, and
which means his entire crew has to sit there and take the blood like it's acidic rain.
His insides kind of just splatter all over the other Buras members, and Negan's like, "Oh, you should have got an umbrella."
Ella. If Negan started dancing and singing that, it probably would have made up for the scene.
I thought Negan was kind of corny in this show, but whatever. Coming at number 4, we have Yano. Yano was like the prospect. He was definitely smarter than Grits. At least he didn't get fucking killed in shit fashion. But what he did get was essentially took out by his own teammate, by Pearlie. Yano was standing beside Negan. Pearlie tried to snipe Negan. He missed, and he ends up taking out his own guy. Pearlie never really showed any sort of remorse for this or anything, really.
Yeah, like, so why should we feel anything for Pearlie? It's not like, oh, he's got 3 kids and a wife at home, he's doing this to pay the bills so his family doesn't get killed. Nothing. He just seems like a cold-hearted bastard.
Yeah, he didn't really show any guilt or
like,
remorse.
why are we? I mean, going aside here, but why are we supposed to care about his family in New York and his brother was a drug dealer?
Well, I don't think we do, but I mean, he didn't really seem to show any sort of emotion that he just killed Yano, who was a young kid trying to learn underneath him. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it was a cool death out of nowhere, but wasn't that great, was it?
No.
Coming at number 3, we have the Manhattan Survivor. Again, this guy has no name, but he did kind of a cool death where we see him at the end of episode 1. He is trying to escape from the Croat. He's climbing buildings as high as he can possibly climb. He then gets his hands on a zip line. We get some incredibly cheap CGI. And then the Croat, with like the smallest pair of pliers I've ever seen, decides to cut this big massive zip line, which sends this survivor to his death. I'm just not really buying it that this little tool that the Croat had would have cut the line like this with one little snip.
Yeah,
but
a line that can support so much weight.
And then this guy with like the smallest fucking cutting tool ever just snips it one wee snip.
Oh, don't kill! I have idea. It's like a Black Ops map, remember? The one with the zip lines in Korea? Hong Kong even? I can't remember what the map was called. That's what it reminded me of.
I mean, it was a pretty cool death, but the CGI was bad looking.
Nah, it was cheap.
And I don't know...
And it looked like something I saw.
Why didn't they give him a big fucking pair of, I don't know, like a bolt cutters or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like something believable. Like the smallest pair of fucking pliers you could ever find.
It was like pliers for...
It wasn't even like big enough to like fit around the fucking wire.
It wouldn't even cut a fucking plug.
Wouldn't they cut a plastic straw, for God's sake? Yeah, sent this guy to his death. I don't quite understand it. I don't understand this either, guys. Coming in number 2 with Amina. I'm not to blame for this one, so I'll let you describe this.
Well, I mean, she got ripped to shreds.
Did she really, though?
Oh, she did. She got bit about 4 times. What?
So, hold on. 1 minute she got ripped to shreds, and the next minute she got
yeah, but let's be real,
bit a few times. No, I think it's important that you get your story correct here. Which one is it?
Bit ripped, whatever. Same shit, isn't it? Well, no, but let me riddle you this, Batman. We just spent 5 minutes burying the third highest death. So why can't the second one also be pish? Because I tell you what, I wouldn't say any of them were good.
Here, we're trying to make this show sound good. We want you guys to tune in for season 2. Talk up number death 2.
The point is, right, I put her this high because the rest of them were shite, and Tommaso, right, may have died at the same time, but at least she didn't die mid-sentence. She bled out. He was literally talking like, oh, is she alright? And that's it, he keeled over. We were watching it. We had to rewind just to make sure he was dead because we thought we were harmed.
Well, if anyone cares, I actually had Tommaso second on my list.
How though?
The same reason you've got Amir second.
What sort of main character fucking dies mid-sentence? Like, and not in like in a fashion where it was like, yeah, man. It was showing no sign of injury.
The black guy for Terminator died mid-sentence, did he not?
That's different. He's going...
Anyway,
I can't hold him on.
I can't hold him much longer. Anyway, let's move on to number 1 here. We were both in agreement with this. Coming in at our undisputed number 1 for the best death in The Walking Dead, Dead City. That belongs to Luthor, who was a big black guy in the Manhattan Survivor crew. He didn't really trust Negan. He found out that Negan was wanted and that Negan was a bad guy. Negan's like, hey, man, I don't want to fight. Let's not do this.
No, the funny thing is, right, seeing any other TV show, this would be like the most average run-of-the-mill kill. It's just a guy gets into a fight, bigger guy, trips, kills himself. Negan disposes of the body. That's it. There's nothing special about it. A throwaway character who's like, what, 5th in command in this group, and we're supposed to fucking pretend it's the greatest death of all time. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It was alright, but that's it.
Right, so they get in a fight. Luthor doesn't trust Negan, and he doesn't want Negan to cause any harm to his group, which is fair enough. They get in a fight. Luthor grabs Negan in a bear hug. He's squeezing Negan like he's Brock Lesnar. He's squeezing him.
Negan Mania is dead.
Negan finds a pizza car and like slices, I thought I was watching AEW here, slices the top of Luthor's forehead with the pizza cutter, so he just puts like a line across Luthor's head with the pizza cutter, and then Negan, I believe, strikes Luthor, and he falls back, and conveniently there's like a big nail sticking up from the ground, and he impales the back of his head through the nail, and Luthor is kind of laying there dying, and Negan just walks over and puts his eyeball, he closes his eyelids essentially. So
I'd love to know how Negan got rid of the body. This guy was big.
Well, it was like underground, and I believe it was like far away from the, well, not far away, but you know, I think it was like in an isolated spot, and I believe they were set to go out.
Yeah, but they were like, here, where is Luthor? We've got to look for him, sort of deal. Nah, we don't look for Luthor.
I don't know, maybe.
I heard the Negan Luthor.
I don't know, maybe hid him in a cupboard or something. I don't know, guys. Anyway, that's your 11 deaths from Dead City, The Walking Dead. This show wasn't great. Now, we will talk about it more in videos to come, but it just wasn't that good. Now, Trev Chan, number 2, he can rate it. He can rate half the episodes. 4 out of the 10 episodes, he gave 10 out of 10. I'm not quite sure what he was watching there.
Me neither. Like, you look at this, it hurts a show though when you know the main characters cannot die. No, it doesn't mean you can't have good deaths either though with the other characters, but like we said here, we're ranting about how bad the second and third deaths are. That shouldn't be happening. You should be like they were good.
I think the fact that we knew Negan and Maggie aren't going to die and that they're mainstays for this show, I think the fact that they know that, they should have tried to do a better job of introducing other characters and getting us emotionally connected to other characters, so when they did die, we would care. Now, you can in terms of the biggest deaths, I would have to say, in terms of name and screen time, the biggest deaths would go to Amir and Tommaso.
But the way they went out,
That was the two big deaths of the season. Agreed?
Yep.
But did they really feel like big deaths?
No.
Did we really care?
No.
No. So I think they should have done a better job, because you know that Negan and Maggie ain't going to die, so why not try and get us invested in a character that is going to die? But, I mean, they didn't really do that. And then, I believe all these deaths happened before the finale. I don't think one of these deaths happened in the finale. I don't think there was any deaths in the finale.
No, there wasn't.
Again, finale of The Walking Dead, a show that...
Centers around zombies.
And I know people will say, yeah, well, look at season 1 of the original, no one died in that, but, I mean, that was a unique episode.
What do you mean no one died in that?
And they did technically show...
Jenna and Jackie died.
Well, that's true, I suppose. And his wife kind of died in a flashback.
Come on, man, put some respect on it.
Put some respect on it. Anyway, guys, put some respect on this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. And, of course, till then, this has been The Walking Dead. We've been Fog Entertainment. Thanks for watching, and peace.